woke up left out on the porch, making too much noise. Up all last night, baby, up all last night. Party all night long, there is nothing wrong, baby, it's alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Took a look at myself for a minute, I've been too washed out and I stopped to rethink it. Bad vibes are coming like waves, I had to decide why I wanna break down. For a minute it's okay to take a second just to let the intermission happen. You see how slowly definitions faded out of reminiscences on the past time. Drinking in new times, I'm having the best life. How we roll, 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 we've been dancing till we fall. Drinking red wine on the weekends just to run away. Go, 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 I don't want to let this feeling go. I woke up left out on the porch, making too much noise. Up all last night, baby, up all last night. Party all night long, there is nothing wrong, baby, it's alright. Everything's gonna be alright. I don't really care that outside is a mess. I just really wanna find a way out of the stress. I feel tired, I wanted to rewind, maybe just rewrite another happy ending to this. Baby, I feel like I'm going crazy by the second. I would love to raise a glass, say a toast, congrats on the good vibes. Blessing for true life, praise for the old times. How we roll, 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 we've been dancing till we fall. Drinking red wine on the weekends just to run away. Go, 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 I don't want to let this feeling go. I woke up left out on the porch, making too much noise. Up all last night, baby, up all last night. Party all night long, there is nothing wrong, baby, it's alright. Everything's gonna be alright. I woke up left out on the porch, making too much noise. Up all last night, baby, up all last night. Party all night long, there is nothing wrong, baby, it's alright. Everything's gonna be alright.
Thomas, if you go to Instagram now, you should be able to see me live and then just join my feed. And then Jordan will count us down when we go live here on our computers. Oh, the Brent Adams. Oh, James Shelby in the building. I see Thomas. I see Good Bottle Sack. Oh, there you are. All right, cool. Okay, for those of you who are watching on Facebook and YouTube, like, are we live though? Like, is it live? Is this thing on? All right, cool. Oh, and then
Well, I'm gonna have to mute.
so what you do is don't mute it, Thomas. Just turn your volume down on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. And then you'll hear it quietly in your background. It's good to see you too, Brent Adams and Zoe Tree Treasures and Ashley. What's up? How's everybody doing? For those of you who are watching on Facebook and on YouTube, Jordan is having the technical difficulties. Okay, he's trying to get the picture up right now. We will be sending everyone $50 in the mail for the build. Not sending you $50. You're going to get a bill because he's going to be fixing it. And then I've already tried telling him to turning it off and turning it back on again, but he don't want to listen. I don't know. Let's see who all is here. Shelby can hear us. Yes, I know you can hear us. I think the question is why can't you see us? So Jordan is trying to work his magic right now. We'll give him a minute. But while you guys are, so I know some of you guys are on Instagram. If you guys want to jump over there, you're welcome to. While you guys are waiting, today's guest is a very, very cool dude. Actually, I mean, he's a cool dude. But before I get into talking about the cool dude, I want to talk about, we have picture. Thank you, Jordan. For those of you guys who have been following me on Instagram and paying attention, tonight at the end of the show, we're giving away this bad mamma jamma. All right? Some Charles Heidsieck Brut Reserve Magnum. Big hello. Hope everything is well. Girl, you too. I hope everything is going well with you. I still love our masks, by the way, even though I don't have to wear them. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't have to go back to that, but it's looking that way soon. Anyways, yeah. So I made a post about this champagne, Magnum, and I was like, hey, give me a follow, tag a couple people in the comments, and if you did both of those things, you got entered into the raffle to win that bad boy, which I will be doing here shortly. So stay tuned for that, because I know some of y'all want to fucking win that thing. So my guest tonight is my friend, my buddy. He's been selling me wine for quite some time. This is Thomas Bennett-Stroud. Thomas, thanks for making it, dude. Thanks for making time on a Wednesday night.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here. I'm glad I could jump the technical hurdles and all that. I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know, there's always like a technical hiccup of some kind, which isn't it's just it's a part of the thing. Kelly,
I'm 23 years old, and you'd never know that I wouldn't know how to use this stuff.
Right, for sure. Yeah. Yo, your friend Kelly with AI. Kelly with the I see what you did with her name.
Oh, Kelly.
Kelly with the I.
She's with Serendipity in Texas.
With an I, she said, "Yo, my serendipity compadre." Is that how they talk in Texas? What?
She does say y'all a lot, and y'all's, adding the S on the end of y'all.
That's awesome. Thomas, can you tell everybody who the hell you are?
So my name is Thomas. I'm in Sacramento. I am a rep for Serendipity Wines, and I've been selling wine to Tesh since he was the som at the kitchen. One of my very first tasting appointments on this side of the job in Sacramento was with you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think you knew that.
Maybe you've told me that before, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool," and then I was like, "All right, cool."
I didn't. Literally one of the first, but hey, it was at the kitchen.
Hey, man, at the kitchen. It's funny that you mentioned that, because when I was at the kitchen, everybody would always say like, "Oh, like I've been trying to get an appointment with you and I just can't get through," because that is a thing, right? When you're in sales, it's really hard to get connected to buyers, and so people would try and hit me with that. But here's what when people said that to me, they did not know that I took appointments with everyone, and I was usually booked out 2 to 3 weeks on tasting appointments, and it was like. My thought process behind it was that, good wine can come from anywhere. And it often did, right? Like you'd have the one guy who made like 2 barrels or something, and he made spectacular wine. So yeah, I always thought it was funny when people tried to hit me with that. And I was like, nah, bro. Although this week I said no to quite a few tasting appointments this week, because I got a short work week between wine with Tesh stuff, and then between the Sutter Club, it's been very, very busy. So some people were gonna hit me up in a week, and they'll be like, "You don't ever taste with me," and I'm gonna be like,
But you will, and when you were at the kitchen at the time, I had like nothing, and
right.
I was honored that you gave me the time of day, and you never flaked. I only had like just a bite size of anything to offer to you. Of course, now I have.
Well, I mean, I think one of my gifts that I bring to the table is being able to recognize good people, and you're one of them, obviously, man. I mean, I would consider you a friend more than like a work colleague. Put your heart down. Don't do that. I love you too. So we've known each other for quite some time. You've shown me a lot of product over the years. Buy from you regularly. Some of the wines that we've carried in the past actually have come from you. We just didn't happen to have you on as a guest because only recently did I start making the guest thing like a continual thing, because I just think it's a lot more fun to have somebody on to talk about these wines. So for those of you guys who are at home, I don't have any maps today because I suck and I didn't send Jordan one. But we are in Italy, okay? And we're going to be bouncing around a little bit. The first wine is coming out of Alto Adige. So we're going to be in northern Italy. The second wine is going to be based out of Tuscany. So we're going to head further south. If you need to know where either of those are, just look up the map of Italy, look at the top of the boot, right? That's where we're going to be for the first wine. And then if you head further, like into the middle, we're going to be in Tuscany for the second wine. So pour yourself a glass of this bad boy. Boom, 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 boom. It says Gris, which I love because it is Pinot Grigio, but I think that it was just intended to be a bit of a play on how the rest of the world calls it Pinot Gris instead of Pinot Grigio. So usually when you hear Pinot Grigio, you can assume that it's coming from Italy. Um, you hear Pinot Gris, you can probably bet that it's coming from like possibly Oregon or California or a few other places where you can find Pinot Gris grown out of. Alsace, France. We've talked about that region a lot because it's one of my favorites. You see some Pinot Gris coming out of there. But Thomas, tell us a little bit about Kornell and about the winery itself.
So they're a pretty old school like winery. They've been around for 700 years in Alto Adige. I guess you consider that sub-alp, subalpine, close to the Austrian border.
Uh-huh.
They're in Sudtirol. So there's a place in Austria just over the border called Tirol. So if you go to that part of Italy, you see a lot of German words, or it looks a lot more like Germany / Austria than it does Italy.
Kind of like in Alsace, France, right? Where like
exactly.
It's very French and German, or French and Austrian at the same time.
Yeah, and then it throws you off when you hear them speak because you see a German word and you expect it to be pronounced in a German way, but then they have a completely other way of saying everything.
That never happens. We never mispronounce things.
It's nuts.
We're perfect wine people. Right. That's the beauty, I think, of being in this kind of wine environment is that you're going to mispronounce things, and that's okay, man. We're all trying to figure it out. We're all trying to learn, and that's okay. I've passed an exam that says that I'm a certified somm, and I will occasionally mispronounce things. It happens. I've been corrected several times, and that's okay. We're all learning constantly. So anyway, going back to, so you said that where we're at, right? We're in Alto Adige, in a region called Sudtirol.
Yes, specifically Sudtirol in Alto Adige. It's a very cool climate. So Pinot Noir, or as they call Pinot Nero, and Pinot Blanc or Pinot Bianco, Pinot Gris or Pinot Grigio. A lot of varietals that you would see in both Alsace and Savoie, and a little bit in Burgundy, are popular in this part of Italy. So it's really fun because, and especially for like a really common varietal like Pinot Grigio, which we often associate with several regions in Italy, but it's got a lot of variety. Typically when we see Italian Pinot Grigio, it's from the Veneto region, or it's from Friuli. It's from these particular areas, and they've got a lot of the same style. This is a little more round. It's a little more creamy, more of the lemony, custardy kind of vibe. It's refreshingly different from other Italian Pinot Grigios.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if the first thing that you guys will notice about this wine is that it's a 2016, so it's got a little bit of age. And one of the things that I noticed right away is that the texture is quite soft. It has acidity still, but the acidity is mellowed out just a little bit. So what really shines is kind of like the lemony, kind of like citrus character of the wine, and the texture of the wine is absolutely stunning. I think it's drinking beautifully right now. I made a truffle mushroom gnocchi for dinner. What? I made that for dinner. It was in my HelloFresh box. I just wanted to get a chance to make you think that I was cool for like 2 seconds. And I had that with this Pinot Gris, and I thought it was phenomenal. I also had it with the second wine, and I also thought that was phenomenal. But with that dish in particular, because of the richness of the truffles and stuff, the lemony character of this Pinot Gris really popped. Now that I'm drinking it on its own, it's there, it's present, but it really just kind of jumped out of the glass a little bit earlier. That being said, I know I sent out the pairing recommendation, and I know it was kind of last minute because I only got to it yesterday, but I want to know what you guys are having for dinner. So James and Christine, it's been a minute since you guys have been so busy with softball stuff. What did you guys make for dinner? Diana, David, I know you guys made something dope. Let me know. I'm curious what you guys had. Nadine, thank you for joining and hanging out. Appreciate you. So Thomas, so you described kind of the wine and kind of like the characteristics that we would pick up from it. What would you pair this with?
Yeah, so basically, like if you've ever had a Pinot Gris from Alsace, it's very much like that. And on the point of aging, we do see a lot of those really high acid whites in Alsace that are ageable. So it's kind of cool to see an Italian Pinot Grigio that falls in the same line. So for pairing, I think of at least when it's a little bit younger, I think of ricotta and spinach stuffed ravioli. I think like a vegetable quiche with sheep or goat cheese or something that has like kind of an herbal vegetal quality protein, and then a cheese that has some more of that like whey, that lactic acid, like goat or sheep cheese. You know how pecorino is like a little more tart and a little more funky than a Parmesan?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. That it's a very vegetal wine, I guess. I think
For sure. Diana said they went with a chicken piccata. Diana, how did it turn out? That's what I want to know. Christy, thank you for tuning in. She's always hanging out. She's here hanging with her German beer. James, we did spaghetti. Softball finally ended, man. Y'all been in softball for a minute. You guys were in the thick of it. So you guys did spaghetti. I want to know how the wine is working with the spaghetti. And then Kelly, short rib with cavatelli sounds really good. Yeah. Did you braise it? Like, how long did you cook that short rib for? Is it falling off the bone? Tell me more, girl. Don't just say short rib with cavatelli. It's really good.
And then
Kelly,
the cavatelli.
And did you make the cavatelli from scratch overnight?
Did it come from HelloFresh?
Or don't fucking judge me, man. I got shit to do. And then I want to know what you guys think of this wine too. Braised. She braised it. Damn, Kelly knows how to get down.
Braised, baby.
Diana, James, I want to know how the wine is working. If you guys like it, if you love it, if you hate it, that's what I want to know. And then I want to know where the Batemans are. Like, send them a message mid-show and be like, "Where are y'all at?" No, and the Cavatelli someday. She didn't make it fresh. She's out. Just kidding. That's still a lot cooler than any one of us did. Yeah, I'm curious what you guys think about the wine, because I think it's absolutely stunning and very, very delicious. Let me know in the comments when you guys have a second. Came out delicious. It's funny how I taste these wines just prior to our. I've tasted them before, but just prior to going live, I'll have them with dinner, and then I'll have the small glass right with the actual tasting, and then the next thing you know, I'm half a bottle deep, and then by the time I finish the other glass, I'm a whole bottle deep, and then I get nutty.
It's easy to do with these kinds of wines too. It's not like we're drinking Brunello di Montalcino or.
Yeah. It's super easy drinking. That is a very good point, right? Like, there's not, it's not super complex. That's not what I meant to say. The wine, I think, actually has quite a bit of complexity. What I'm trying to say is that the wine is easy drinking. Like, it's good right now. It's good with food. You could have it. You could have it as poolside and just have a phenomenal time. Ralph and Marianne are in the building. You're late. It's okay. You guys got kids. I understand.
It's one of those wines that you can, if you wanted to, you can get all cerebral about it and talk about pairings and all that. But it's also just a great wine to have on your counter while you're making your food.
When you turn cerebral, does that mean that you can start reading people's minds like Professor X from X-Men? What do you mean?
Yes, but also just,
Thanks for chuckling at that, Jordan. Thanks. I saw the little chuckle, like, oh, Tesh.
like a cerebral wine is like something that you really have to think about. You have to swirl it. You have to wrap your head around it, which can be really cool and inspiring wines, but sometimes they just take a little more work than you feel like doing while you're boiling some pasta.
Right. No, for sure. For sure.
And you just want to have a chuggable, quaffable Pinot Grigio.
I get that. I really do. All right. So, Ralph and Marianne, you guys are late, so I want to know what you guys think of the wines, how they're drinking for you, all that good stuff. And while I wait to hear from some of you guys about what you are picking up on this wine, what it's throwing down for you, I'm going to open up the randomator, which you guys can't see, but I did create an Excel sheet with everyone who commented and on the Magnum champagne post. I'm going to have that ready to go so we can randomize and just oop. All right. All right, cool. So that's good
Was
to go.
that actually a Magnum, or was your hand just really that big?
Are you calling me fat? No, it really was. No, it really is a Magnum. Like, I know I got a small head on a big ass body, but this is a Magnum by comparison. It's kind of a behemoth. Like, that's not a great angle here. Let me boom. There we go. That's better. Boom. It's a big ass champagne bottle. Like, yeah, and in fact, I mean, for those of you guys who haven't had Charles Heidsieck, I sell the regular format on the website, and it is absolutely stunning champagne. Quick story time before we jump into the Borro Lamelle. If you guys finish your Pinot Gris, or your Pinot Grigio, my apologies, go ahead and jump into the Borro Lamelle, and we'll start talking about that in a second. But a quick story about the Charles Heidsieck champagne. The reason why it's special and why I even have it on the website is because I did a blind champagne tasting several years ago that was hosted by a gentleman who lives in Sacramento, who is a collector, and all the Psalms kind of know him. And he put together this blind tasting out of his private cellar. And so as a result, a bunch of us got to go drink ridiculous champagne, all blind. And so we tasted, I want to say like 8 of them, and we rated them wine by wine. And we ran around the table. We compared our tasting notes. We compared our scores that we gave them. And then by the end of the night, there was one champagne that was like a resounding, this one shined way more than the rest, and like on a whole different planet kind of thing. And that champagne was champagne Charles Heidsieck. And we were all just kind of like, wow, like we knew that Charles Heidsieck made great champagne. But that night we had a newfound respect for it. Sliced tomatoes from my garden pairs well with this wine. Nora, you're a sliced tomato. I love it. That sounds really good. I don't even know what that means. Damn, missed the post on the Magnum. You know what, Nora? I'm sorry that you missed the post on the Magnum. Because and for what it's worth, I paid to have it advertised too, so it should have at least popped up in your feed if you were scrolling Instagram at some point, because I paid for that particular post to kind of get attention, so it would have popped up and while you were scrolling and said sponsored right underneath it. So yeah. All right, so go ahead and pour yourself the Borro Lamelle Chardonnay, and we'll jump into that. Hey, so you know what, Thomas, would be cool is if you could tell us, a big part of your portfolio is biodynamic producers, right?
Yes, so certified organic and biodynamic and non-certified are kind of our focus.
So, can you tell us about what biodynamic means to you, like personally, right? Because you taste a lot of these wines. You sell a lot of these wines. I think everybody who is watching has heard me kind of go on and on ad nauseum about biodynamic farming. But like, what does that kind of represent for you? And does it mean anything to you when you're talking about wines or when you're tasting them and pouring them? What weight does that carry for you?
Yeah, so I mean, biodynamics is really cool, and it's very nebulous and highly misunderstood. To me, biodynamics is farming with intention and attention to the land. A lot of people say that biodynamic farmers are farming soil, not grapes or whatever plants they're growing.
Right.
They're biodynamically grown things besides wine grapes. And there are certain practices that are used, like so what we'd call preps, which are like tea extracts made of different specific plants like nettle and yarrow and valerian they're like fermented teas that are then either used in compost or sprayed directly onto plants. And basically it's just chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a whole woo-woo spiritual aspect of biodynamics that is for people who are attracted to that side of things, but don't necessarily have anything to do with the actual implementation of these practices. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
So, it's like why I say it's chemistry, because like nettle has certain properties when you compost it that helps plants uptake nitrogen. And valerian has other properties that help with like root development and these other things. They have specific proven properties that help, that are basically fertilizers for plants instead of using synthetic chemical fertilizers and pesticides and herbicides and the whole cocktail of medications that people use in so-called conventional agriculture, which is really damaging to the planet and really costly, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
It's witchcraft.
I mean, people say that, but it's really not, because like witchcraft.
No, we joke about it. We joke about all of my followers, and we all jokingly call it witchcraft.
Yeah,
witchcraft winemaking.
Like that implies like magic or something, and it's really like there's nothing to really believe or not to believe. It's just it's kind of the way people practiced agriculture before there was any other alternative.
Right. Well, there's like leaf days, right? Flower days, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, there's that.
And then you have to like follow, right? So like I think that like when you get into it, like, and if you're not in the vineyard, like seeing what's happening and like responding to what's happening, right? And you just hear about this for the first time, I think that it can be a little whatever you want to call it, right? Whether witchcraft is, I mean, it's a silly way to say it, but I think that it's right. Beyond the realm of what most people are used to when you think about farming, right?
Yeah,
Ralph said it certainly tastes like magic. Well, and I have to agree. A lot of biodynamic wines have a tendency to taste a lot better than most other wines.
Well, and just like really good homegrown tomatoes are going to taste better than anything.
Speaking Nora's language.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's like they're picked when they're ripe. They're grown probably with a little more attention paid to them because anyways, I could go on and on about this shit, but
yeah, for sure.
You know that.
Ralph Bateman, my buddy Ralph said, "Wingardium Leviosa, my glass." All right, so talk to us about Il Borro. I love Il Borro.
Yeah, and I know you have history with them, more history than I do, frankly.
So they're I don't know what his actual position is, but Francesco, right? Is it? It is Francesco, right?
Francesco is I think he's the West Coast manager.
Right. Yeah. So Francesco is married to his partner is Devin, and Devin and I used to work together at the kitchen. And so I got introduced to Il Borro through Francesco, who came by and he was like, "Hey, try my wines." And Francesco's a very very sweet guy. And he introduced me to Il Borro, and I'm a huge fan. Um, so yeah, I am. It's intimidating because the deficit of knowledge exchange. Wow, Kelly, that is a really really good way to put it. It is that, yeah. I think that's why we jokingly call it witchcraft, right? Is because it is, right. Like it's one of those things where like you need to be able to explain a wine to people who necessarily don't understand wine on the level that you do. And I think that's why Thomas is good at his job. I think that's why I'm good at my job. And Kelly, it sounds like you're probably good at your job because you're aware of this. Is that you have to meet people at different levels, right? Some people are really nerdy and geeky. Like when people come to bring me wines, like I want to know all about the winemaking process. I want to know about, how much oak did they use, how long, how much of it was new, right? Was it French? Was it American? Whatever. I want to know about the farming practices and stuff like that. So yeah, you are correct. It is intimidating because the deficit of knowledge exchange. She must have graduated from college. She got them big words.
A lot of people I do a lot of in-store tastings and things like that, and I try to explain biodynamic wines, and a lot of people just kind of
they glaze
shut
over.
down.
They glaze over for
Yeah,
sure.
they glaze over when you get to a certain point, and they're like, "Oh, that's not what I asked."
Right. Adrian Bayardo, what's up, baby? All right, so I have history with the winery, but I want you to tell us a little bit about Il Borro.
So another really old, many generation estate in Tuscany in Valdarno di Sopra, gone through. So they say they have solid history of the Il Borro castle. I think the estate itself is called Il Borro, dating back to 1252. So they're
hella old.
Yeah, hella old, which is like not even anything special in a lot of European wineries that are built around these old estates. Like,
right.
It's baffling as an American. I mean, to know that there are many generations who have lived on the same land and have a relationship with the land and who have lived in the same house.
Right.
I mean, not a house, a castle, but
yeah, you know what? It's a little bit. Yeah, it sounds a little
different.
When you say, "Oh, they lived in a castle," right? It's like, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, my house will not be around for that long.
Right. Yeah.
So Salvatore Ferragamo's father, Ferruccio, bought the estate and the castle in 1993, and now his son Salvatore Ferragamo, who is in the known.
Never heard of him.
World. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge fashion person, but I've heard of the bags and the shoes and watch straps and things like that.
I'm curious if anybody watching owns anything Ferragamo, and if you are, give me some of that money. Because I was, when I first got introduced to Ferragamo, I was like, oh, Ferragamo, like that's dope, that's cool, man. Maybe I'll go get some of the clothes and stuff. And then I looked and I was like, nope, definitely do not, cannot
Maybe
do that.
A wallet? No.
Nah, man, I have nothing left to put in the motherfucker. Like, yeah. Do they sell lanyards?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's like maybe like $100 for a little leather keychain thing.
Right. Christy said no, just Versace. That's up there, Christy.
Oh,
Christy, what do you own that is Versace? And what are you, fucking Bruno Mars? Like, what the hell?
And is it real?
I want to hear more of your friend's Italian. He sounds very good. Where did he learn? Thomas, he's got a name, David. He's Thomas. He's right here. Oh my God.
I don't speak Italian.
He just enunciates Italian.
It's so one thing, when you work in the wine industry for long enough, you kind of have to learn how to pronounce things eventually, whether or not you actually speak those languages. And it does help that I know French and Portuguese and Spanish. But you have to learn how to pronounce certain things.
I just like to say that I like drinking them Italian wines, my Pinot Grigios,
Pinot Gris.
Pinot Grits. Sorry, I'm drink. David, the irony of you mistyping drunk is fucking beautiful. Sorry, I'm drink, but I do speak Italian. I love you, man. Yes, you are having a very good time, and I'm glad to, to hear that you're having a great time. All right, so talk to us about the Chardonnay, right? So Ferragamo, right? Salvatore,
Okay.
that's where you were at. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. So when I originally, before I really knew anything about Il Borro, and I knew who Salvatore Ferragamo was, I was like, oh, great, it's another winery owned by some rich fashion icon or celebrity or whatever. Like, it's all name and nothing else. But Il Borro has substance. They've been certified organic since 1997. They've been practicing biodynamically since about then. They will be certified soon, but it's a long process. Salvatore and the whole team are really committed to biodynamics. They live there. They're part of the land. It's not just a brand that they've bought and slapped a label on. It's wine made with intention. It's all from the estate, from the Valdano di Sopra appellation. Anyways, and they're not just the conventional stuff. Like it's not everything is Sangiovese.
Right. Yeah, I love that about them.
Yeah. So now we're here with a Tuscan Chardonnay. Not super common, not classic by any means, but I think it's as close to a Chablis as you could get in a climate that is very different than Burgundy, using the same varietal, using what we would refer to as an international varietal these days.
Right.
Chardonnays planted all over the world.
How many? I'm curious. How many of you guys have had Italian Chardonnay before? Because I feel like this is one of those varietals that we commonly run into, right? We see Chardonnay all over the place here in California, but we very rarely actually see Chardonnay coming out of Italy. It's not as common. The Il Borro is tasty. Doesn't pair great with the spaghetti though. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that it would be all too great with spaghetti.
Spaghetti with what?
Oh, that's a good question, James. Spaghetti with what? Is there a tasting room in Tuscany for Lamelle? Il Borro is the name of the winery.
Yes.
Thomas, do you know what Lamelle means? What is that in reference to? Lamelle. Sorry.
Lamelle.
Motherfuckers don't know how to pronounce shit. I told you, Lamelle.
That's a good question. I think it's someone's name, though.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of their wines are named, like there's one called Alessandro that's like one of the previous owners of the estate hundreds of years ago.
Gotcha. Okay.
But that is a good question.
Diana, to answer your question, yes, there is a tasting room in Tuscany. Johnny has tried Italian Chardonnay. Of course he has. That motherfucker's been everywhere. I love that dude. Come visit me at the club, by the way. Italian Chardonnay never, or at least if I did, I don't remember. James said, I can see you again. We must have cut out or something.
There are places in Italy where you will find Chardonnay more often than others.
Like what?
So I used to sell you a Chardonnay from Lazio.
Oh, such a great, oh my God,
remember
so good.
Felicia?
Absolutely.
Remember Felicia?
Yeah, she was very, very sweet.
And so Lazio is like the appellation closest to Rome, which like that was never on my radar in general, but certainly not for Chardonnay. And there's a lot of Chardonnay planted there. Calcareous soils, these like chalky hillsides, like perfect for Chardonnay, and the closest thing to Burgundy Chardonnay that you could imagine.
I agree. Thomas, in just a second, I'm going to ask you for some tasting notes that you noticed on this wine. Kelly with an eye said, seashell on the label gives clue to pairing. Very Kelly with an eye. You got quite an eye for these things. I'm going to go to sleep now with my dad jokes. All right. No, yeah, you are right. Yeah, the seashell is right on the label, which is dope. Hey, Thomas, will you set up Diana? She's going to Tuscany, or she's going to Italy next year. She wants to go taste Il Borro at Il Borro. Can we make that happen?
Sure. Yeah.
As long as they buy me a ticket and take me with them.
Hook me up. Send me an email.
All right, cool. I'll connect you guys.
Yeah.
Just looked online, and I think you can stay there. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I have some customers who've been there. I'm sure Eric at the Wine Consultant can tell you all about visiting there too.
Man, that dude, he travels, man. Well, he's grown his business to the point where he's able to like do these things off of his business. You know what I mean? And I hope to get there someday. As long as lovely folks like y'all keep coming and showing me love. Hopefully someday we can do that too. And then I'll put together trips and stuff, and we can all go. If you just got to pay for yourself. But we'll go do the tastings and stuff. I can arrange that stuff. What the shit? Sorry, my dude Eduardo just joined in on the gram, and I fucking missed that dude. What's up, Eduardo? He's in Montenegro, far, far away. Awesome, we'll bring you. So as long as you don't snore, I make no promises. Cucumbers from my garden are good with the Gris too. Dope.
That makes a lot of sense.
That does make a lot of sense. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's a great call. Like
fresh cucumber. When I grow cucumbers too, and sometimes if it's really fresh, I just put a little flaky salt on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need.
Thanks, Eduardo. Thanks for saying what's up, man. Go get some rest. I know it's the middle of the night over there. Wine trips with Tesh sounds like a blast, Countess. And yes, that'll be the next segment. Wine trips with Tesh. Yeah, I like that. That would actually be really fun. That would be really, really cool. Cool. All right. So hit us with some tasting notes, man. What should we be? What are some things that you pick up on this wine that you love and
So this is a really fun wine for food because it's a Chardonnay that has, so it's completely unoaked. It's all stainless steel. It's got lovely acidity. If you are familiar with Chablis, imagine that, but with more fruit, with more richness, a little more body, but great acidity that really cuts through the richness in your food. So I think this wine stands up really well to scallops with butter.
Motherfucker said scallops.
What?
I love you so much, dude.
When you say scallops?
Scallops.
Richer preparations of shellfish and fish. Cod, like some kind of cod stew, or I don't know if I'd go with salmon necessarily. I think there's some other flavors in there that may or may not go with the Chardonnay. But just think of like lobster, crab, scallops.
Scallops, dude. Don't change for me, baby. You do you, man.
Grilled prawns with saffron rice or something like that, like
cioppino mussels, or some people are saying.
Yeah, seafood, but that has some more fat.
Yeah,
like butter or a bunch of olive oil, something like that. Because this has a lot of qualities in the wine that plays well with that, but it has the acidity to cut through the fat.
Right. Paella. Ooh, shit. Damn, Christy,
Yeah,
say
for
it
sure.
slow.
Oh,
By
yeah,
the way,
paella with calamari and prawns and mussels and stuff.
right, yeah. Fantastic. What's up, baby? By the way, I went to dinner the other night with my friends. I shared that photo earlier today of surrounding yourself with good people. And I was some really good friends that I used to work with at Morton's forever ago. And we went to a certain restaurant to start, and we weren't having the greatest of times. So we left. We had our appetizers, had a couple round of drinks, and we left to go to a different spot. And we ended up at Bodega Aioli, which I don't know if you guys have remember, but Bodega Aioli is owned by my buddy Aziz and his father, and they own Brasserie Capitale and the Grand as well. Um, Guys, go have the paella at Bodega Aioli. It was there's not a nice way to put it. It was
Second that.
fucking delicious. It was so good. All of the tapas, all the the plates that we shared, it was fucking incredible. Like it was next level good. They have a great selection of wines. Go order yourself a bottle of Albarino and sit down and have some paella and just have a blast. His dad is a character. He's a hoot. He's so much fun to hang out with. Yeah,
Radar.
yeah, go do that because we had a blast and it was a lot of fun, and the food was amazing. They didn't have squid ink paella, but they had a heavy seafood rotation. Actually, the one that we ordered actually had like ribs in it and chicken, and it was fire.
I think that's
Fire.
what I've had more recently. Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. What do you guys think of this wine? I know a couple of people said that it's creamy. I know that a couple of you guys said that it didn't really work with what you made for dinner. With spaghetti. I mean, honestly, if somebody was coming to me and they were like, "Hey, I'm having spaghetti," I'd probably tell them to drink like a red wine, like a Chianti or something. Or you know what would actually go great with spaghetti because it's such an easy, simple dish. Is something easy and simple like the Col de Sasso that I sell on the website. That stuff, dude. It's a Cab Sangio blend. It's $11 a bottle, and it is insanely good for $11 a bottle. Like, yeah, I tried the wine and I was like, this is really good. And they were like, how much is it? And I was like, wow. Yeah, it is. It over delivers for sure. Sorry, Thomas, that's not one of your wines, baby. I sell your wines
That's
too.
okay.
But
No, but you know what I was thinking of for like I'm assuming it's like spaghetti in a tomato sauce situation.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Il Borro has their sort of entry level.
Oh yeah.
Called Borrigiano, and it's a Sangiovese dominant blend that's like the perfect pizza pasta with red sauce wine, medium bodied, nice acid, kind of earthy, just super sort of crunchy and versatile, perfect for that sort of thing.
Right. Agreed. And that is a great idea, or a great selection. Fantastic. I agree. It's great wine. David, I'm going to advertise it, baby. I got bills to pay. All right. I need everybody else to buy wine like you guys do. So we're gonna keep doing that. Thomas, do you have anything else that you'd like to add about both of the or either of these wines?
Well, I'm a huge fan of Il Borro. They've got a big lineup, price points all over the place. I mean, they've got some really they've got like an amphora aged 100% Syrah out there. They have a lot of really modern wines. They do like Syrah, which is obviously not Italian, and then they have some like really Sangiovese dominant things that are lovely. They've got a Sangiovese rosé. I know you love their sparkling Sangiovese.
Their sparkling is fucking insane.
Called Bolle di Borro, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Champagne method Sangiovese rosé. It's so classy. It's so just tight and crisp, and I don't know what else to say about it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy good, man. Like it really is.
Yeah, it's really special, and it's really limited. Like I try to get it for myself, and I can't.
Would they not let you? Would they not let you?
No, it's just often not there.
Oh, got you.
yeah, we order it in like small quantities and then people gobble it up. So
Right. You need me to get that sparkling. I need to make room. Here's what it boils down to. I have leftover inventory, and I got to sell product. So I will get you that sparkling once I have more room to bring in that sparkling. Which, on that note, I'm starting to book a lot more private events. So I had 2 people hit me up in like the last week for like the next couple weeks out. So I think that a lot of these private events will help me move product that I'm sitting on and stuff like that. So, and just so you guys know, just as a reminder, like I have 2 huge wine fridges. So it's not like these wines are just sitting anywhere. They're in a temperature controlled environment. I'm also having an electrician come and hook up my electricity in my house so I can run this big badass portable AC unit that I want to have in my garage, because I just want my garage to be a little bit cooler, a lot a bit cooler. How much do we need to buy? How much do we need to buy to get that sparkling in? I think it comes in 6 packs.
it does.
So if you want, Diana, I'll shoot you a message, and I'll let you know how much it is per bottle. For those of you guys who are watching and you guys are like, you're like, oh, like I want to grab a bottle or 2, or if you put together a case, I'll give you a 10% discount for taking the case. It just makes it easier for me to not, I bring it in, move it to you, make it real simple, and then you get a great deal on the wine. So yeah, Diana, I'll shoot you a message about it. I also have your Terra Madi sparkling, Terra Madi sparkling coming this week as well. So, oh, and speaking of which, actually, speaking of sparkling wine, Thomas, real quick, thank you, man. Stay, hang out, and when we wrap up and we come off of the live, stay and hang out, because we'll have the after party where Jordan and I talk shit for 20 minutes about each other. We just we just sit there and like stab at each other. It's really unhealthy. All right, so for those of you guys who went in and did your due diligence and you put in your name, here is the random selection. When do we eat? And if I recall correctly, when do we eat is Ashley Bergeon. So Ashley Bergeon, congratulations. You just won your Magnum of Charles Heidsieck Brut Reserve. For those of you guys who don't know Ashley Bergeon, but Ashley Bergeon is a good homie of mine. She used to work at Ella, and she currently works at Bach. And actually, she lives really close too. Yes, I'll teach you pronunciation when we pick it up. Thanks, Diana. Yeah. Terra Madi. Thank you guys for tuning in. We just announced the winner of the Charles Heidsieck Champagne Magnum. It is When Do We Eat, at When Do We Eat, which is Ashley Bergeon. So Ashley, congratulations. I'll get this bottle to you very, very shortly. My guess is that you're probably not watching right now is because you're at work. So I'm going to cut you a little bit of slack for that, because as a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet that you're at work. So yeah. What else? Do you guys have any more questions about anything else? Oh, here's an answer. Chicken and waffles Wednesdays. Is that what's happening? It's Chicken and Waffle Wednesdays at Bach. So yeah, so she probably is working. How did I know that? I got a motherfucking gangster behind the computer. All right.
I'm here for it. I love Bach.
Bach is awesome, by the way. Champagne. Yeah. Go eat there. Go drink there. Kelly with an I, thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks for bringing your knowledge to the table too. That was awesome.
Thanks, Kelly.
So before we tune away, or before we sign out for the night, I know a lot of you guys always want to know what's coming. So it looks like Thomas loves chicken and waffles.
I love fried chicken and champagne specifically.
I
don't know about the waffles part, but sure.
Yeah, fried chicken and champagne. Yeah, for sure. Chicken and waffles. Wine pairing for chicken and waffles. I don't know, Thomas. What would you pair with wine with chicken and waffles specifically? Not just fried chicken.
Oh, not fried chicken and waffles?
Well, no, I'm saying like fried chicken goes well with champagne, but if you had
Yeah.
chicken and waffles, right? Like, and I know it's fried chicken. Would you still go with champagne? Is my question.
I mean, probably, but I mean,
Maybe
honestly,
a sweeter champagne.
the whole constellation of like Chablis and the Lamelle Chardonnay, I think fits in there. Although it depends. Like, is there sweet stuff on there?
Yeah, it usually has like a maple glaze of some kind or some syrup on it.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
okay. Well, maybe like a demi sec champagne,
See,
something
that's what
that
my thought would be. Like
yeah,
something that
yeah,
has just like
not,
some sweetness to it. Not like overbearingly sweet, but just something that has like a hint of sweetness.
yeah. Because I mean, champagne, even when it has some sugar in there, it has got a ton of acidity. So
Right.
it kind of fools your palate, and you need a little more sweetness in there. Yeah, like an extra brut, or sorry, an extra dry, or a demi sec, even like a rosé champagne
Right.
work there.
All right, so we got one more question for you. What would specifically you? They want to know your answer to this. What would you pair bagna cotta with?
Bagna cotta.
Bagna cotta, like the Italian, it's like a dipping sauce made with like anchovies and stuff.
Oh, for like artichokes.
Popular in like it's popular in like in northern Italy, in Piedmont and stuff.
So
Um,
like a creamy artichoke caper sort of situation. Is that
I
what
think
that
it does
is?
have capers in it. I don't know if it's like artichoke. Um, that's as good of a description as I have for you. It's like it's an anchovy based, kind of like a oily dipping sauce. Very very commonly served with bread in northern Italy.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, because bagna, yeah, and cotta seems to imply some kind of
it means warm bath, right? So you serve this dipping sauce warm. Bagna cotta, warm bath.
yeah. Okay.
And it's okay if you haven't had it or haven't heard of it.
I
That's all
mean,
right.
I
Oh,
would
here you go.
probably
Diana
think,
said garlic, anchovy, and olive oil is the three main
oh,
ingredients.
okay, yeah. I mean, the Pinot
This
Grigio that
lamelle,
we were
yeah.
talking about before.
Mm-hmm.
I might pick something a little, maybe like a Vermentino,
Mm.
like a Vermentino or Verdicchio,
Mm-hmm.
a drier um, Italian white that has some more of that dried herb quality.
Yeah.
I feel like the Pinot Grigio we tasted might be a little delicate for something like that. Once you introduce anchovies in there, then you want like you're gonna have to pump it up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. It packs a lot of flavor.
Yeah, or even like
Il
like
Montalcino. She said,
like
Kelly
an
with an eye said
Nebbiolo.
the Il Montalcino, the Vermentino.
Oh yeah. So yeah, there's a great Ligurian Vermentino
Yeah.
from Il Monticello.
Oh, is it?
Um,
You're right.
in
It
Mon-
is Il
yeah,
Monticello.
in Monticello. I think you've tasted that. Yeah, it's a
Oh
really
yeah,
unique
I carried the
Vermentino.
Liguria Red. The
Yeah.
yeah.
So their Groppolo Vermentino is really interesting. It's fermented in 3 different ways. It's a really interesting, unique Vermentino. There's a lot of Vermentinos out there that are super light and kind of delicate, but this is not one of them.
Nice. Diana said, never had white, always had red. Maybe I should try. You should definitely try a white wine with that. I
With
think
that particular dish.
yeah, with bagna cotta, I think that it's a you can do reds, but I honestly think that like I've always had it with white wine.
Yeah, I mean, with a red, it would have to be really light. It would have to be like a Schiava or a Pinot Nero, but then you're kind of introducing some more red fruity qualities that might interact weird with anchovies.
And I think I don't think that it would work very well. But yeah. All right, cool. So you guys always want to know what's coming. So the next Tesh box, we're not in one particular region. We're kind of all over the world with all of the wines. So we're going to be in Georgia. We're going to be in Lebanon. We're going to be in Tasmania as well.
Ooh.
We are kind of traveling all over the world with this next box, and I'm really, really excited for it. So I'll be getting those out over this weekend. Well, not this weekend, but early next week on Monday, Tuesday. For those of you guys who have shipments, as soon as the wine comes in, which will be tomorrow, they'll drop here. I'm going to get those shipments out tomorrow, so that way they're ready to crank for you guys for next week. So yeah. I think that's all I have. Thomas, you got anything else? Thanks again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for bringing all your knowledge to the table and all your pronunciation. And let's go get scallops together soon.
It's I have some scallops defrosting in my fridge right now.
I had some scallops at Ella last week with their soft opening, and they were fucking phenomenal.
I was at Ella yesterday, and I forgot how much I missed their oyster. I mean, everything, but like
so good.
I had their oysters, which are probably the best in town, and their salad niçoise with coriander encrusted seared ahi tuna, and it was just the right amount. It was so life-giving.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that they're reopened again. David, Diana, Ralph, Nora, Marianne, James, Christine, Christy, everybody watching on Instagram, thank you guys for joining. Appreciate it. I will be doing another Magnum giveaway in the near future, so keep your eye out for that. I'll record a video for that one and post that because I think that the videos probably get a lot more views nowadays. Plus, I'm a ham and I like making videos. So yeah, thank you guys for your continued support. We have Tesh boxes going out within the next few days. And early next week, you guys keep an eye out for me. I'll be out delivering those, or I'll have a driver bring them to you. Just as a reminder, and I sent out an email, but I just want to make sure you guys hear it from me as well. The delivery thing, it's been tough because I do have to pay somebody. So I have to charge a delivery fee. For all of everything. So the Tesh boxes don't have free delivery anymore, but I still bring them to you, still have them brought to you by someone I trust, and you're still getting awesome wines. So you don't have to leave your house. You can still be in the comfort of your home, and we will take care of the rest. All right, guys, until 2 weeks from now, be well. And as always, drink wines that mean something to you. All right, guys, take care. Lots of love.